This is WTF Nation Radio.
Stand up for the things I believe in, but I don't always do what's right. I'm the only hell my mama ever raised, but hell my mama tried. I am the last of a dying breed. There ain't many souls left like me. I'm a man of my word, that's a guarantee. I'm the last of a dying breed. Don't need much for me to get by. I don't fit in with the suit and the tie. You won't see me sitting high on a throne, so please tell the wolves that I'm finally home. I am the last of a dying breed. There ain't many souls left like me. I'm a man of my word, that's a guarantee. I'm the last of a dying breed. I'm a God-fearing man, I ain't afraid of my fate. I'm a lot like Drake, born 50 years too of a dying breed. There ain't many souls left like me. I'm a man of my word, that's a guarantee. I'm the last of a dying breed. I am the last of a dying breed. There ain't many souls left like me. I'm a man of my word, that's a guarantee. I'm the last of a dying breed.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
All right, everybody, let's get started. We didn't have the disclaimer. Oopsies. Everything that you hear is an opinion of the person that spoke it. I forget it. I forget the disclaimer. Just whatever you see or hear on this program is a personal viewpoint, and it is not a reflection of U.S. Army WTF Moments business or the United States Army or the U.S. government. How about that?
Offer not valid in the United States, Pakistan, Canada, Mexico, or any of the contiguous 48 states.
Oh, yeah. Heath, you got a really good point there. Yeah, last night's show sucked. You know why? Ivan was at it again, so we weren't able to we weren't able to broadcast a show last night, but we got a workaround. So now we oh God, turn that music down here a little bit. Yeah, we got a workaround, man. Sorry about the no show last night, but I think we got the problems solved. We have different ways to attack it just in case that happens again. So here we are. How you doing, Coach? You know, we don't have Pookie here, so you're stepping up again. I appreciate it.
You know, it's going to be a bad night for Pookie when even Spirit Airlines has better arrival times than the airline that you're flying in. So while he's out there on the tarmac waiting for his flight home, I'm going ahead and stepping in right now. So I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really, really good. We got a bunch of folks headed to Jacksonville, Florida for WasabiCon, which is happening this weekend.
CQ's out there right now. He should be already out there, right?
CQ's already out there. Pookie's trying to be on his way, but the airlines aren't cooperating with him. He might as well just walk.
It might get there faster. And, you know, you'll probably be drier than going through the airports are going to be terrible. If I'm a little nervous right now, you guys got to excuse me because I'm like right now scatterbrained. I quit smoking 9 days ago right now, and I just stopped smoking 9 days ago, and I'm freaking right now. So thank you.
Elizabeth's asking who's the new guy. This is Coach.
Hey, new guy. Yeah, I'm Coach. I just came along, and I've been on what now? 6 months now.
Yep.
I think I've been on. Yeah.
You've been on a couple shows. This is the second time that you've been on with me. So
yeah, I like coming on.
I appreciate it, man.
It's great.
I do appreciate it. So I showed a video before we started, and it's the Navy's 247th birthday. So happy birthday to all the sailors.
Yes.
It's really
happy birthday, sailor.
It's tough. It's tough being the Marines Uber.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you have 300 men coming back and 150 couples coming, returning home. But it's okay.
So that's also my mom.
By the way, how's the rest of the village people doing? How's that? How's the construction guy? How's the cop? Yeah.
And the Indian, who's that? The construction guy, cop, too. Indian, and sailor.
Yeah, the sailor. Yeah, the sailor and the other guy who was wearing leather chaps, I think. Didn't all of them wear leather chaps?
Assless chaps.
I don't know.
Dude.
Navy guys. Yeah, Navy guys. Do you guys all wear leather chaps and the white bell bottom still?
That's issued, right?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. No, happy birthday, Navy. Can't complain. When you're number one, you've always got to have a number two. And thank you guys for 247 years to be in our number two.
So they, we usually have like a Veterans Day cakes and stuff at work, and I think they're doing like a Veterans Day. But sometimes, a lot of the Marines, especially the Marine pilots, will come and they'll bring like a saber and they'll get a cake made and they'll cut the cake with the saber, and it's all very, very formal. They get really into that stuff.
Yeah, don't they have like the lowest or the youngest Marine and the oldest Marine go ahead and cut the cake together ceremonially or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tradition thing. At least, some traditions are getting passed along. It's not like the Army has. Actually, we do have a tradition of fucking everybody over.
I'm just there.
Years.
I appreciate their tradition. I'm just there for the cake, though.
Yeah, cakes. Yeah, it also depends too. How they try to put that strawberry cake crap in the middle of the cake. No, just get a good vanilla and chocolate cake. That's all you need.
Yep.
Don't put strawberry shit in the middle of the cake. Come on now. You're not going to be hiring friends. Everybody's just there against their will at most of these cake cutting ceremonies. We're just there for the cake. Don't give us frills. Give us good shit and let us go.
Make it worth our while.
Exactly.
And I'd also like to wish a happy birthday to my mom. It's my mom's birthday this weekend.
Oh, happy birthday!
So she gets really moody when if there's three sons in the house, and if she doesn't get a birthday card or a Mother's Day card, she gets pretty moody. So I usually make it a point to make sure that it's there. It's almost like a contest between me and my brothers to make sure the card has got to get there on her birthday. You got to plan it for her birthday. She wants to open up that card on her birthday.
Okay.
She wants to go out to the mailbox and see that card on her birthday. So we try to plan it accordingly. I forgot. I didn't forget I had the card, but if I mailed it Monday, and that was going to probably be okay, but it was a holiday.
That's right. Tuesday was a holiday. Actually, no, they celebrated it on Monday.
On Monday.
The post offices did, so everything got backed up to Tuesday.
Yeah. So
is it gonna?
Hopefully, I mean, I talk to my parents every week, and I call them on Sundays, so I'll figure it out. Usually, she'll send me a text saying, "Thank you for the card. You're so great. You're the best son I've ever had." And, then I got to rub that in my brother's face.
And then, and as long as you don't have to make it official by wishing them a happy birthday on Facebook, as long as just the phone call and hopefully getting the card there on the right time is suffice.
You know what's
you don't
really
have
cool?
to worry about that stupid. I have to wish you happy birthday on Facebook instead of talking to you out there to make it look like it's okay.
It's really cool. My mom doesn't have any social media at all. My dad does, but he doesn't use it a lot. Neither of my daughters do Facebook. They do Instagram, and that's about it. They don't really get into that stuff. They'd rather sit around and read a book or do something, which is I'm very happy.
That's
good. They don't do the gamer thing. They never really got into. When they were younger, they'd have their girlfriends over and they would play the Wii or something like that, and that was fun. But then they just went to college and just kind of grew out of it.
And I'm kind of glad. I'm just looking back on this one right here. King D. Gibbs, the crayon cake. Yes, we can serve the Marines crayon cake, but they'd have it eaten right before any of the ceremonies. And I'm kind of glad that, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I have this massive, it's very unprofessional of me doing that, but I had this massive itch happening for the past 2 minutes. It's been bugging the shit out of me right now.
Everything's bugging the shit out of you.
Yeah, just everything. You guys are seeing right now the effects of nicotine withdrawal live and in person. Oh, God, I've been smoking since 1997.
Yee, that's a long time to be smoking.
Yeah, I know. It's 25 years I've been smoking, vaping, dipping, doing all this other stuff, and this is like the second time I've been without nicotine since basic training. Yeah.
So what is that? The withdrawals will probably kick your ass for a couple of weeks, and then.
Yeah, the coughing is the big part. I don't have the headache or anything like that, but it's the brain fog and the coughing.
Yeah.
Now. Using CBD as an occasional remedy is all right with it. Kind of going along the lines of I'm still killing my lungs, but I'm not addicted to the nicotine. But it's done its share. It's done its share of good. It's done its share of bad. I will say it's not nice going to sleep at 9 o'clock at night going like this. But yeah, it's difficult, man. It truly is. But I am going to get through this daggone thing. I truly am.
You are, and you're doing the right thing right there. Drink water. Drinking water helps.
Yeah. Because if not, I'd be coughing all over the place on this one. That's the last thing this show needs right now. Just me constantly coughing over everybody.
So Pookie chimed in. He says, "Help! I'm trapped at the airport." So hopefully he can get on a plane. I don't know.
They're going to leave him in Charlotte. He's only about 2 hours away. Pookie, you can get started right on 74 and make your way back up to Bragg. I am broadcasting, back here at Bragg, so it's not a problem on it.
Back at Bragg.
And if anybody can figure out what bar I am in right now and knows their way back at Bragg, it should be a dead giveaway for you. That's where I'm broadcasting out of tonight.
Looks like a big bar.
Yeah, pretty big bar.
So let's get on with the topics tonight. We got a lot of topics, and they don't really flow very well. So we can pretty much start anywhere. So I'll start at the beginning.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Iran.
So let me see. Elizabeth is asking, what street is it on?
What street? Well, Well, it's a street that was renamed on Fort Bragg. How about that? And it was a street that was renamed and nobody knew that it was renamed.
They probably still call it by the old name anyway.
Yes, no matter what, it was still called the old name.
It's like they renamed the ballpark in Arlington because they sold the rights to like Globe Life. It's Globe Life Field right now, but it's always going to be the ballpark in Arlington.
Yes, it's kind of like Giant Stadium is now MetLife Park, even though technically it's still Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium is, well, Yankee Stadium is still Yankee Stadium. But there we go.
Woo!
That was not a good one to have off of air, so thank God I got a dump button right there. My gosh. Oh, that was definitely not a good one that came up there. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. So there's been some protesting, and we're going to talk about that right now. Activists in Iran. This is kind of cool. I like to see this happen. Activists in Iran have disrupted a live state television broadcast by airing images and messages in support of the continuing protests against the government and the country's strict hijab law requiring women to wear headscarves. Islamic Republic TV footage of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Al Khamenei meeting state officials was interrupted briefly on the 8th, and he was replaced with images of the slain protester and a 22-year-old Masa Amini, whose death in police custody last month after being arrested for not wearing a headscarf sparked protests around the country. An image showing Khamenei in the crosshairs and in flames was also aired during the interruption. So that's cool. Those protests are still going strong. They're entering the 4th week. So that's
Ayatollah Asahola. You remember that from 40 years ago?
Yeah. And then the bomb Iran song.
Bomb Iran. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do remember those jerk offs. You know what? This guy, I'm still. All right. If we equate this to what transpired in 2020, this has a lot to do with how the African American community felt after the George Floyd murder of everything that was happening, and it's almost parallel to what is happening out there. Do you think that this is just going to? Iran's been a freaking terrible country for how long now? Going to more than 40 years now. They've been a dictatorship. They've been underneath this regime now, the Ayatollah's regime, for over 40 years. Do you think that this is going to have any staying power, to be honest, guys? Or is this just going to be another thing that's going to rhyme up and then, by this time next year, we're not going to think another thing about it?
I think it's going to take more than just protests. No one's taking up arms against the government. They're just protesting. And women are out there burning their hijabs. That's about it. But there's like over 200 have been killed by the police since the protests have begun. So I don't know, man. It's one of them. It's one of those things. It was in my job. It was back in the 70s. It was a very, very popular place because they bought a lot of our aircraft and we had a lot of trips there. Not anymore. It's just you don't touch Iran, man. I think Russia's been taking care of Iran as far as the major trade, maybe China.
Well, no, you're definitely finding some stuff happening with Russia because Iranian troops are actually coming in right now on the front line of Ukraine to help out the Russians.
And they have Iranian drones too.
Yes.
I saw a video. It was like the first documented air-to-air exchange, not an exchange. It was like a fight between two drones, and the Ukrainian drone won.
I have not seen that.
It was just a video of this drone that came up on a Ukrainian drone, and then it tried to ram it. The Ukrainian drone gained altitude, and then the other drone, the Iranian drone, kind of came up from underneath, and it ended up crashing. You could see like piece parts fly off of it, and then it disappeared.
So we played Star Fox in real life then.
Yeah.
We have finally come to the part we have evolutionized ourselves to playing video games in real life. My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we are doomed as a society. I have not seen that. I want to see that video, actually. I want to take a look at that. That is drones fighting each other with two people that will be nowhere on the battlefield. We literally just sent equipment to go kill other equipment.
Yeah, we got machines fighting each other without humans involved, except for under the behind the controls somewhere else.
Yeah, that. Wow, that just makes me.
So Caleb
so
says, "Can I ask you guys what the K logo is for?" Well, my name is Kaz, so the K is for Kaz. He says, "Love the show, love the talks." By the way, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All of our shows are a little bit different. We're kind of not really structured, and we kind of talk about just general news and like our commentary on the news. Monday's the Monday edition is kind of the same thing. Tuesday's Pop Culture Warrior with CQ, and he does all pop culture things and gaming and things like that. So if you're a gamer or if you like talking about like Marvel or DC Comics and stuff, he's all over that. He always has some really great guests too. See, Thursdays is Sergeant's Time, and that's a very structured conversation. It's usually about military issues. It's retired Sergeant Major Ice comes on, and he talks military stuff. So can ask him questions, and he'll answer it to the best of his ability because he just got out, so he's very current. He makes it a point to stay current.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I have no idea half of the crap that's going on right now ever since I retired. I don't know.
I know how we did it back in the 90s. That's about it.
Yeah. I retired 6 years ago. You give me about that. I've got a half-life right now. There's about 3 or 4 generations of soldiers that seem to pass every year. I don't know how the hell that happens, but one thing I have noticed, everybody that seems to be getting out right now, there is a lot less that are getting out without the combat patches than there are that are getting out with the combat patches. So it seems that right now in the military, you're getting more people that are coming to the end of their first enlistment that do not have one of the combat deployments underneath their belt, and there's more people getting out right now underneath their first terms, and then there are people that are staying towards the retirement. So it's kind of a shift in the focus of where I was when I retired 6 years ago.
Retention is an issue.
Retention is an issue, but I never realized that it was coming down to the part where the first term soldiers are getting out at a faster clip than the career soldiers, and the career soldiers are getting reduced in numbers. Obviously that happens with, I know it's happening. Everybody jokes that it deals with politics, and it truly does, with whatever political party is in charge of the executive party. And it fluctuates here and there, but I never knew of a fluctuation where you're getting less people to stay on active duty than you are keeping people in. And there's more people getting out now that are first termers than there are getting out as retirement. This
is what the peacetime military is, though.
That is true. I haven't been. Oh God, I only saw the first 2 years of my military career as the peacetime. That's all that I really saw. The end of the '90s, which not too bad about that. It was kind of a nice time period. At least I know one thing that didn't happen at the end of the '90s. People weren't sued for almost $1 billion.
No shit, dude. I feel bad, but I don't. I mean, $1 billion, $965 million, but that's just compensatory damages. That's not the punitive damages yet. The punitive damages aren't done yet.
Yeah, and including over the first damages that he had from the first lawsuits. It's now over $1 billion. That Infowars.com.
Yeah. So if anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's Alex Jones. He's in the news again, and it's usually because of his mouth. Alex Jones is an alt-right conspiracy theorist from Dallas. He lives in Austin. Some of his most famous conspiracy theories are the government can manipulate the weather and steer tornadoes. Chemicals in the water are turning the frogs gay, and this is why there are so many gay people. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller is a demon and a pedophile. And Hillary Clinton is running a child sex ring from the Comet Ping Pong Pizza Parlor in Washington, D.C., in case you didn't know.
Although I will say that he did have a funny video when she passed out and was thrown into the van like a side of beef. That was a funny video to see.
So
that's all I will say good about him.
On 14 December 2012, 20 kids and 6 teachers were killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut. Not long after the shooting, Alex Jones got on his platform at InfoWars, professing that the whole shooting was a hoax perpetrated by crisis actors. Why the fuck would he say something like that?
Stupidity and to get views.
Yeah, that's really bad choice. You think he might have advisors on going, that's probably not a good idea. Don't say that. So anyway, there's a lawsuit brought up against him. The lawsuit accused Jones and InfoWars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, of using the mass killing to build his audience and to make millions of dollars. Experts testified that Jones's audience swelled when they made Sandy Hook a topic of the show, and so did his revenues and product sales also swelled. In both the Texas lawsuit and the one in Connecticut, judges found that the company is liable for damages by default after Jones failed to cooperate with the court rules on sharing evidence, including failing to turn over records that might have shown whether InfoWars had profited from knowingly spreading misinformation about the killings. The Connecticut trial featured tearful testimony from parents and siblings of the victims who told about how they were threatened and harassed for years by people who believed the lies that was told on Alex Jones's show. Strangers showed up at their homes to record them. People hurled abusive comments on social media. A person testified that people mailed rape threats to their house. Mark Barden told of how conspiracy theorists had urinated on the grave of his 7-year-old son, Daniel, and threatened to dig up his coffin. So, Jones mocked the verdict live on his InfoWars platform. He says, quote, "I don't have any money. This is all a big joke." Alex Jones called the proceedings a kangaroo court. He mocked the judge. He called the plaintiff's lawyer an ambulance chaser and labeled the case an affront to free speech rights. He claimed it was a conspiracy by Democrats and the media to silence him and to put him out of business. He says, quote, "I've already said I'm sorry hundreds of times. I'm done saying I'm sorry." He said that during his testimony.
Yes.
Testifying during his trial, Jones acknowledged that he was wrong about Sandy Hook. The shooting was real, he said, but in the courtroom and on his show, he was still defiant. So on Wednesday of this week, a 6-person jury ordered Jones to pay $965 million in compensatory damages to the family of the Sandy Hook victims. I think that is an enormous sum. But can you put a dollar amount? You can't. I mean,
you really can't put a dollar amount for that. I do want to let everybody know that if you did have $965 million, you could buy 2 NHL teams and still have enough money left over for a AAA baseball team.
And a couple of Cokes and some popcorn, maybe.
Yes, definitely some Cokes and some popcorns. For $965 million, you could fund your... Let's see. You could fund a great organization like this one right here, called the Ultimate Survivor, or excuse me, anyway, I'll talk about that one later. But you can fund the program for Wounded Warrior Project for 30 years. You'd be able to, let's kind of go into a couple other things as far as, the Major Richard Starr Act. You would be able to, $965 million, you'd be able to fund the Major Richard Starr Act for 25 years. $965 million. The Yankees could afford 2 Aaron Judges and Gleyber Torres and Giancarlo Stanton. Guys, would you be able to fit all your alimony with $965 million?
Sure. I never had to pay alimony. I'm not that rich.
Good. All right, good. Didn't know if you had any demons like every other person had one out.
No, that's all water under the bridge.
$965 million. Almost $1 billion right there.
What's an F-35 cost?
Give me a second. Let me look at that. Does anybody out there have that? I don't have it. F-35 cost. Definitely less than what Alex Jones is going to be paying to everybody. That $9.9 million to fly one in 2020. That was the carrier variant, which makes what the fuck kind of excuse my language, I'm sorry, but apparently about $110.3 million it cost an ancillary cost per unit of the F-35 for the entire FY 2020. So you could have funded all the F-35s for the fiscal year of 2020.
That'd have been awesome.
Instead of having Infowars.com pay, your pain and suffering.
Yeah. So something tell he strikes me as a media whore. And he's just addicted to money, but I don't think he's going to have that problem anymore because he's just not going to have any. Any money that he earns, I mean, he'll be able to maintain a living, but everything else is going to be going to paying off the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting.
Isn't this how they got O.J. Simpson to hand over his Heisman Trophy, because he had to pay for all of Ron Goldman's mustache cream? That's what's going to be happening. Alex Jones is just going to be paying for the rest of his life in order to pay off the people from Sandy Hook. Which, no, that got Gawker taken care of, right, Hulk Hogan?
Which kind of sucks, because I mean I know he's a big mouth conspiracy theorist. Sometimes he's right. Maybe he's factually correct, but his delivery is horrible. Like the gay frogs thing. There might be something to that with chemicals in the water. It's causing reproductive differences in frogs, and they're not mating like they should, or whatever. But he just goes off the rails and says, "It turned the frogs gay." Dude, he just went off on a rant online. Someone, of course, captured the audio. There's a song called like Gay Frog or something, and it's just nothing but Alex Jones just yelling. He's like the old man yelling at the clouds, man. He's nuts. It's one of those things. It's just, we're in a time right now where the conspiracy theorists, from the beginning of this COVID thing, it's like, no, they're wrong. They're just conspiracy theorists. And like 90% of that shit was true.
Yeah. 4chan, when you have nowhere else to go, 4chan, 8chan, and those great places of dark interwebs. Yeah, they'll get you down a rabbit hole, making you think that certain things are going to be happening. I ain't gonna blame them on it. It's pretty simple, but Caleb Fight, I will mention what you just said, because the way you just made that describe it is that he had a hint of truth, but his delivery was just terrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't that kind of sound like somebody who, I don't know, was orange and was the 46th president of the United States?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least we know that, he knew his stuff, unlike the knucklehead that we've got right now. That's all I'll say about that. But, when you look at what we've got right now, at least, at least the Army's getting some good equipment right now. But I mean, that good equipment was coming in, a little bit later. That came in during the Orange Guy, didn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Stan says frogs can change their sex based on the population's reproductive needs.
Okay, so frogs can literally go fuck themselves. Yeah, how can you trust something that's going to fuck itself? I'm sorry. That came from Paulie Walnuts, but that's what I have. Okay. I'm not smart. It was first in Jurassic Park. He's got a good point. And now we're going off of what's his name is saying. Oh God, what's that? Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, that's what we're going to be going off of. We're now the world, according to Jeff Goldblum's theories in Jurassic Park. That's great. That's where we're coming down to right now. What was that dude's name? Who's the one who said I'm on the wrong one, the frog thing. Okay, Stan's the one who got me started on this frog thing.
Yeah, Jorge Cruz says the frog thing was him being a shock jock, but he is right. The plastics, estrogen, and other things seeping into the water system are affecting frogs and humans. I don't doubt that, man. Our water's nasty. Not just in Flint. That water will just straight up kill you. But all the runoff, man. All the runoff. What do they? I mean, like even in Europe, they found not tuberculosis. What did they find? Some old dead disease in the damn water.
Typhoid.
Was it typhoid?
Was found. I think so. I think it was typhoid. Tuberculosis.
Just name that disease. It's there.
No, they did. Well, what's the one that just came back? I mean, no, monkeypox. We can't say what happened with that because that was another spreader that had that one. Ironically, during a certain celebration month. No, what was the? Excuse me. As far as the water system too, you're looking at places that also around farming with the water system. What's the damn company that's been messing up all the stuff? They not
Monsanto. Is it Monsanto?
Monsanto. Yes. Those are the ones that, you have to buy their seed. You have to use their
polio.
Their whole daggone ecosystem for everything that they have. Polio.
It was polio. Polio was found in the water system in the UK.
Polio in the UK.
Yeah.
God, I thought it was typhoid. Smallpox. What the fuck? No, Mike. Smallpox is not found in there. But these companies, and fertilizer company like Monsanto is a fertilizer company. It's a seed company. You gotta buy all their shit through them. Oh, and on top of that too, they're also the same people that produces Roundup, which all that basically does is kill this year's weeds, makes next year's weeds even worse, and then you're going to have to buy next year's Roundup in order to kill this year's weeds that you're going to have next year.
And if you bathe in it, you're going to get this year's cancer.
Yeah, exactly. It is affecting humans because you've seen a lot of this crap happening, and if it's doing something as well, it's messing around with the actual oil in the soil, everything that it's produced inside it, because some of these farms cannot produce, in the same, unless it's a Monsanto seed, they cannot produce the type of grain that they were producing unless it was through a Monsanto seed, and it's through their own ecosystem. So he's damn right, and it's screwing up the water. I mean, let's go into the farms of California that are more necessary than the ones in the Colorado River Basin.
Right, and they're out of water now. Bummer.
Oh, yeah, but that's what they got for their electrical cars.
So we were talking about the price of the F-35. Well, the army, the military in general has some pretty cool toys. Mm-hmm. Not least of which is I don't know what they're calling it, but the story is about Microsoft and the United States Army and the HoloLens.
Yeah,
which is pretty damn cool. That's pretty futuristic, if you ask me. Microsoft and the United States Army are continuing to explore how to make mixed reality an aid rather than a hindrance for soldiers. A U.S. Army report indicates that Microsoft's HoloLens-based headsets during testing made soldiers feel physically ill and more vulnerable to harm. A U.S. Army report on a recent field test included a soldier who tested the tech saying that the devices would have gotten us killed. This was reportedly in relation to the light that emits from mixed reality headsets like the HoloLens. Criticisms, according to the employee, included that the device's glow from the display was visible from hundreds of meters away, which could give away the position of the wearer, obviously. Mm-hmm. Additionally, United States soldiers reported experiencing nausea, headaches, strained eyes, which could affect real-life missions. I do work in the aviation industry, and the reticle that gunners use, like in the Apache, the Cobra, they've got that one eye that has to focus differently to see, that's their targeting, that's their heads-up display for targeting.
Yep.
But they also have to fly the aircraft, so you got to look deep to your terrain, and then you have to focus on that heads-up display. That's got to be very, very difficult.
It takes a lot. It definitely takes a lot of coordination for something like that. But what we're looking at on the screen right now, and I saw that earlier in the week and read about this thing. I mean,
it looks heavy.
It looks heavy. It looks completely awkward, and if to be actually used within a combat situation, you would not have enough maneuverability. You would not have enough wherewithal to actually see what was coming around you. With how much you're going to be maneuvering around with that damn thing, you're better off just going in with the blindfold. I'll be honest with you. It can tell you as much as it is, but you're better off going in with a blindfold because you're going to be dead anyway if you're going to have all of that crap on you. You're going to be a $3.5 million casualty. Unfortunately, it's the honest to God's truth. I mean, look at that fucking thing.
It does. I mean, I've wore flight helmets before, and those are they're cumbersome, kind of.
Yeah.
But they're balanced, so it doesn't really strain your neck, and it's not, it's very snug on your head, but it doesn't strain it. It doesn't pull it one way or another. That looks like it's not very well balanced. It looks very, very front heavy.
And you're going to operate this in the open? At least if you're going to be flying, you're going to have a level of protection because you're going to have the aircraft to surround you of any type of attack that would be coming. I mean, let's be honest. You're not going to be out in the open while you're going to virtually see a freaking 7.62 round coming right at your daggone noggin.
See, I'm not sure what kind of I don't know what kind of information is on there. Is that in? I don't know what the inside of that looks like. It kind of looks like it would be a heads-up display, but it looks like it could be a night vision system. Not necessarily a targeting thing, but you might be able to get distance and range out of that.
And would it be okay? Let's be quite honest.
Obviously, you can see past it.
Yeah, you can.
Can you see through it?
Yeah, is it going to be translucent? I mean, or is this thing just going to display like physically what's in front of you as a graphic? Yeah, and Jorge Cruz just put something about information overload. How much information are we going to be getting within our retinal display that is going to be, actually be usable for us? Like, are we going to in something like this? There's probably way too much information, and this looks like a khaki or a Raytheon project that's just going to cost $3.5 million in development and make a couple people a little bit happier and employ some people.
Ooh, I've got some numbers for you.
Oh goodness! Please don't tell me it's more than. Is it more than $965 million?
Not quite.
Okay.
Additionally,
it's Mario Kart on the inside. That's a good one, dude.
Of those that experienced mission-affecting physical impairments, 80% of those felt ill in under 3 hours. Soldiers' discomfort was also reported. This sounds similar to what a lot of consumers complain about when they get used to head-mounted displays, HMDs. The weight of the hardware, limiting movement, and limited field of view. The Army started testing the prototypes of the HoloLens back in 2017. And finally, in 2021, the Army signed a 10-year deal with Microsoft to provide 120,000 HoloLens headsets. The deal was worth nearly $22 billion.
We're going to get 120,000 of these motherfuckers?
Yeah, I think they just made their first delivery. I mean, I really hope they get it right. It's really cool.
I am going to give a bold prediction. 119,000 of them will be completely unfunctional within the first 1 year of use. Completely unfunctional within the first year of use. 119,000. 120,000 are ordered. 119,000 are going to be completely out of use. That other 1,000, that commander's going to be way too scared.
Those are the ones that are still in the packaging in the arms room.
Exactly.
They're just there for display purposes, for inspections.
That's on somebody's hand receipt that they don't want that to get messed up. Oh my god!
I mean, it's cool technology. I hope they can work out the bugs. I hope they can make it so it's usable. Maybe lessen the amount of information that comes through, or target it. Like before you go out on a mission to do your thing, just tick the boxes that are pertinent to your mission.
I've got. What's the over/under on somebody hacking into this thing and making virtual and putting like virtual reality porn on there instead of the heads up display?
I will tell you that
how long are we looking at at this point?
Military cybersecurity is pretty damn robust as far as when you develop things. We're developing avionics systems that they communicate over Ethernet. High-speed Ethernet, and of course we have the government coming through, just a bunch of hackers evaluating the security, and they're pretty damn thorough. But but hackers do what hackers do. They figure out a way. They figure out how to fuck with people and things.
You remember the what was it? The Miles gear that they used to call it?
Oh yeah.
So this is Miles Gear 3.0. That's basically what this is. Right. This can be used in training scenarios, but to see real life efficiency with using something like this, no. Not yet. I'm not saying no, but it's just not yet. What I think you would see though is you would see somebody with that display, and I am saying this, but we're probably years away with that technology. You may see like somebody wearing something like this and being in some type of movement sensor or movement, capture device or location, and that's controlling a droid. That might be something you would see 10 years down the road. Not a VR headset that's going to be, strapped on with an 80-pound freaking battery to the head, and it's gonna display information about where the enemy is or anything like that in a virtual reality set. I don't think you would see that. I would think you would see it controlling a drone than you would anything else. We do have a with our aircraft that we're developing now. They come with headsets that kind of look like this. They're a lot smaller profile with a clear lens, so you can actually see what you're doing. But you can pull up with that headset on. You can pull up diagrams of the aircraft. You can pull up parts manuals. It tells you how to take things apart and put it together. What the torque specs are, what the bolt sizes are of the things that you're taking off, what wrenches that you need, what tools that you need to take a thing off or put a thing on. It's really freaking awesome. Jesus Christ! And it's integrated with the maintenance manual, so it's pretty badass. It really is very futuristic, and I think that this is the same way. But more so probably for an infantryman's point of view. So as Coach is dying over there, yes, we're going to dying. Change. Thank you for the dump button. If anybody here ever gets headsets or anything, make sure you get the one that has the pause button or the mute button like this. Beep, 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 beep. And now I'm better. Yes. So you're coming back into the workforce. Yes, I am. From being out for a while, and from an older fellow like me, surrounded by young engineers, very, very intelligent people. I don't really have this problem in my job, but I guess some offices are. But the thumbs up icon is apparently offensive now. Generation Zs are calling out the popular thumbs up emoji for being rude or hostile, even saying that they feel attacked whenever they see it, especially when it's used in the workplace. For younger people, the thumbs up emoji is just used to be really passive aggressive. It's super rude if someone is just sending you a thumbs up.
So I also had this person that they're talking to said that they had a weird time adjusting because my workplace is the same. Everyone will be like on a Microsoft Teams type thing, and people will just be throwing out the thumbs up. Older workers appeared confused by the reaction, noting that the thumbs up in a work-related chat is a signal to say, I approve, or I understand, or okay. And that's where I'm sitting.
I'm in the same boat. Yes.
Part of the issue is that young people tend to use the thumbs up in jest. They use it in jest, like an okay boomer type of response. This person said, this person says, I use it sarcastically, though sometimes I'm not sure that my irony comes out clearly, says Barry Kennedy, age 24. He says, I only use it to communicate with boomers like my parents or older colleagues. Emojis can be interpreted as disrespectful. It can differ from generation to generation. Across the board, people want to know that they've been heard, and emojis do not always convey that message clearly for everybody. I don't believe I've ever seen an emoji in an email work. Personally, I've never, ever seen it. Even emails between colleagues, when I'm emailing back and forth, I've never seen an emoji in an email. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen where I work. A lot of our communication is done on Microsoft Teams. We use it as a form of laid-back communication. Microsoft Teams actually comes with an emoji menu. No one uses it. No one uses it. Every once in a while, you might see something out there, but no one uses it.
Okay. Well, I want everybody who's over in the comments right now, who's watching. Yes, I'm doing a thumbs up attack on both of the feeds right now, on both WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments on Facebook. Not on YouTube, but YouTube you can go ahead and put the likes on. I want you all just to go ahead and just hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button, and do that because you approve of these messages. Now I'm not. Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, you can't see. All right.
No, I can't. I can't even do it.
You see me, but I'm giving everybody else the thumbs up as well. So, okay, I want you to stop doing something because I'm offended in the way that I misinterpreted something that has been done long before I have ever been alive. But because I'm offended in the way that I think of it, you must change.
Everybody's got to stop doing it because I don't like it. That seems to be it.
All right. Okay.
And I've got another story that's related to that, and that's probably going to be after the break. I don't even know what time it is. Yeah, I got about 7 minutes.
Yeah, we got about 7 minutes till the break. My dear goodness.
So I guess these folks are having a bad day at work when they see the thumbs up emoji.
You know what? That's good because then we can introduce them to what we usually should say. That is a perfect time because if this is offensive to them, well, then this should be welcoming to them from now on. And to all of you in the audience that cannot see what I am doing on the camera,
no.
Well, you might just say that everybody is number one in my book. But hey, this is a perfect opportunity. They don't like the thumb. Well, millennials, here you go.
Give them not the zucchini, the not pomegranate. What the hell is the dick fruit thing? Not banana.
The dick fruit. What is that?
It's purple. What the hell?
That's the eggplant.
Eggplant. That's it.
Eggplant.
I'm thinking in my head. I was going Parmesan.
Eggplant is a fruit. Eggplant is a fruit. Son of a gun. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, eggplant and tomatoes are fruits. If you guys did not know that, but
ketchup is a smoothie.
Yes, ketchup is a smoothie.
I was talking about having a bad day. People having a bad day at work when they see the thumbs up emoji. But here's another person that had a really bad day at work. A tree trimmer in California was killed this last Tuesday after falling into a wood chipper. This is not that person. This is just a stupid picture that I found on the internet of someone doing something stupid with a wood chipper.
Yes, please, thank goodness that is not that guy.
Police in Menlo Park said that the man had died from his injuries sustained by the incident, and when they arrived at the scene just before 1 p.m. The man's identity has not been released, and OSHA is investigating.
I've got my OSHA 30 card, and I do know that walking in front of there, you are supposed to have hazards and at least some type of
Where's their safety cones?
Out. Yes, where's your safety cones proving that it's open?
But you can have... I mean, how do you fall into a chipper? Since they have that shroud over.
Yeah. But it also, it depends like which way you're falling, because if you had that thing open, or if you had that thing kind of tilted up, like look where. All right, so
that looks pretty horizontal to me.
Yeah, that looks horizontal. It could be vertical, and you could have been on just throwing the. You could have been up there, and it could have been vertical. I don't know. It could have been that way. I will mention just something that did happen with a wood chipper. I am not kidding you. Before I PCS to one of the units I was in Fort Bragg in USASOC, a first sergeant had put his wife into a wood chipper and killed her because she was going to be filing for a divorce and taking away the son. Well, I would say this, that they didn't realize anything until they realized that the wood chipper came back, and the wood chipper was clean. I'm talking pristine, that this wood chipper has never been this clean, even after it came out of it. So the moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, in order to get rid of blood, no matter what happens, don't use a wood chipper, because you're still going to end up getting the evidence found out about you. So that's what ended up happening.
Yikes.
But if you do it, make sure it's an accident, like unfortunately this gentleman has in California.
This guy's he's going to lose his leg. I'm not saying that it's on, but damn. I wouldn't be... So here's another thing that my bullshit flags were flying when I read this story.
Yeah.
But we got Halloween coming up, so you got to look out. You got every time, even when I was a kid, I say look out for razor blades in the candy and stuff. So go through your kid's candy, make sure there's nothing bad in there. But Tiffany Burrows took her 3 boys, ages 1, 2, and 5, to a trunk or treat Halloween event last Saturday. The trunk or treat event was held at JJ's restaurant in St. Charles. It doesn't say what state, which hosts a monthly car show. Co-owner Stephen Bell said that the Halloween-themed event, held every October in conjunction with the trunk or treat, has always been a very big turnout. As Burroughs' 3 boys were collecting their candy, she noticed an unusual package of gummy worms in a candy bowl, but didn't think much about it until she got home and inspected the children's candy. She inspected the kids' candy and located the suspicious-looking package, and it said Delta 88 THC on it. This is a cannabis product meant for adults only, and online sellers claim that it can make someone high. So Burroughs called the police, and the officers notified the restaurant. Tiffany, the manager, and the owner walked through the parking lot and looked at everyone's candy that they were handing out, and then they couldn't find anything. Police also showed up, and they checked everyone's candy of the vendors that were passing out the candy, and they did not find any additional packages of the Delta 88 THC. Despite concerns that the cannabis gummy worms look just like regular candy gummy worms, police say that they believe that the incident was just an accident. Well, I got news for you. Something tells me that Tiffany's full of shit. The story sounds like BS to me. I don't have any evidence. It's just one of those things. It just sounds like BS to me, especially since the event management and the police and Tiffany went through the lot and looked at everyone's stash and found nothing. Found absolutely nothing. And so you have to ask, why was she the only one that ended up with this Delta 88 THC gummy in the kids' thing?
How old were the kids?
1, 2, and 5.
1, 2, and 5. Okay. Now, I severely doubt that this was ever put in on an accident. I think this had to have been on purpose. I am going to state this, that you just mentioned that it was called Delta 88, right?
Yes.
That's what they're identifying that as?
That's what the product's called, Delta 88 THC.
No, it's called Delta 8.
I know
Not
Delta. It's Delta 8 is the
Yes.
THC. I think the product they just called it Delta.
Okay.
88.
The product's called Delta 88.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
First thing
because
is,
there's Delta 8 and then there's Delta 9, which is actually
yes,
THC.
that is the actual THC. Now there also is Delta 10, Delta 11, THC 0, and a whole bunch of things. And by the way, you're also talking to a man who's a connoisseur regarding CBD as well as the Delta 8s. There is no chance in hell that any person who was there would have purposefully had done that. Now, it would have been an accidental thing. Let's just say somebody put in some type of that, but I doubt it would have only been one person to put that in. Next thing is, you're not going to get high off of this. This is going to give you the same amount of a buzz as a pack of cigarettes or a cigar would have. Nobody has regulated the highs that they have out there, but everybody believes that this Delta 8 CBD is some type of magical boogeyman that's going to make you, start seeing things and, make you wish that you were listening to Jimi Hendrix all the time. Well, first off, yes, about that latter part, because Jimi Hendrix is fucking great. But you will not be getting high off of this as well. Period. End of story. No chance in hell. No chance in hell anybody that was there as a vendor, especially if they are in that little car park area, no chance in hell any of them are going to be messing around with CBD gummies to give out to children.
That shit costs a lot of money. It's not like it's... What is a pack of that?
Sense.
What does a pack of that cost? I have no idea.
Okay. So if I were to go get a pack of gummies, like he said, like this person has right here of CBD gummies, let's just say it's a 4-pack like that, and it's Delta 8 CBD. That's a little bit cheap right now. I can get that for around $8 to $9 to $10. Now that is depending on what you on the type that you have. I'm also going to let you know that because of the federal regulations which regard the CBD, the Delta 8s, and all of these other hemp derivatives, that there are actual legal live marijuana THC Delta 9. You can get those for almost the same amount that you would rather CBD.
Okay.
So why are you going into an area? It's kind of like how you're going to get yourself just crap weed versus the real thing when it both costs the same. You're not going to do that. There is absolutely zero person who would enjoy that and give that away.
I've been baller enough to do like full-size candy bars for Halloween before.
Yeah.
But that's not going to cost me $8 or $10 per pack.
No.
I don't like the kids in my neighborhood that much.
Cost you $1 a bar or something like that, I mean, shoot, you get the massive 30-pack of the what are those ones? The Reese's peanut butter cups. You can get those things over at Sam's Club.
Those are so good, dude.
Yeah, that should be just the default Halloween candy for everybody.
We've been going nuts with the Halloween candy at work, man. I work with a bunch of great folks, so we get the good shit. It's not that cheap bag of candy. We're getting the Reese's peanut butter cups, the full size deals, and then we have remote engineers that come in for like a week per month, and they just bring good stuff, man. York peppermint patties and junior mints, and it's just really good. It's just really good stuff. So, hey, we're going to take a break really quick.
Yeah.
And when we come back, guess what, dude? We're going to talk some sports. Because that is your wheelhouse, and we're going to talk a little bit of sports. But in the meantime, we are going to take a short little break. So stand up, shake out your legs, go to the restroom, grab a fresh cold beverage, and hurry on back because it's not going to be a very long break. But let me make sure my music is up, my levels are up, my music is looking good. So we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. Come on back, shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
All right, everybody, here we go for the second hour of Friday Night Freedom. My name is Kaz. How you doing? Oh my God, dude, you increased in size during the break, so I have to resize you there. And you changed your shirt. Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I changed the shirt. Yeah.
Welcome everybody back to the second hour of Friday Night Freedom here on WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. My name is Kaz, and this is Coach. He's filling in for Pookie because Pookie's stranded at an airport because that's what he likes to do on Friday nights. Thumbs up, everybody. I hope you're fucking offended.
Get offended, you millennial piece of crap.
So
Even my dogs are offended by you.
So they call you coach for a reason, and sports is kind of that's kind of what your wheelhouse is. And
Yes,
and,
it
and,
is.
and you can, I mean, and you talked to the last time because Judge was up for a 62nd home run, which
Yes.
he finally achieved it, didn't he?
Yes, he finally got his 62nd home run, second to last game of the season over in Toronto. No, excuse me, not in Toronto, in Texas.
Yeah,
You know,
it was at the Rangers, which is here in my backyard here, which is cool because the Rangers had a lot of donations. They have a charity that they run, and there was a lot of donations to this Rangers charity because they pitched to him.
Yes, yes.
They didn't walk him. They just pitched. They played baseball.
Yeah, if from the last time that I was on talking about when he was going, they ended up going against the Baltimore Orioles, and the Baltimore Orioles gave him absolutely nothing to hit. Then they went up to Toronto was in between, and he did hit his 61st home run, but at the last, Texas said that they were going to go after him. And then finally in the second game of a doubleheader, he finally cranked one over the left field seats. But you could also tell, and if you would watch the baseball game today where the Yankees had lost 4-2 to the Cleveland Guardians this afternoon, Jaron Judge was 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. Him going after the American League record has definitely done something to his swing, where he's now pulling the ball and does not have the focus that he had. I think he was just going after the home run, be damned about any of his batting average, and unfortunately facing better pitching, it's going to be dominating him, and it's kind of messed him up right now for the postseason. Hopefully he pulls himself together over the next 2 games.
The record's done, dude. You're done. Yep. Thank you. Congratulations. You're going to get like money or whatever. And just, now it's time to play baseball like you were hired to do.
Yeah, now is the time that every Yankee fan wants him to perform. 62 was great. 62 and a World Series ring does not mean anything. That's the only thing that's going to go ahead and ensure that Aaron Judge will be recognized as an all-time greatest Yankee. That's the way that Yankees are.
Really?
And yes,
even better. I mean,
who's
the old Ranger that went to the Yankees? Who?
There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay, I can go all the way back to 93, 95 or 96 was Kenny Rogers. Ivan Pudge Rodriguez was one.
Pudge will always be a Ranger, though.
Always be a Ranger, though. Yeah, he would. Oh goodness, there was a couple of them.
The Guardians. That's the Cleveland Indians. They renamed themselves for world peace.
Yes. Yeah. They renamed themselves after the Commanders looked like crap, and the Indians did not want to look like crap because of how bad the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team or the Washington Commanders or the
Commandos.
Washington,
let's go Commando.
The sexual gropers, the owner is a mafia don, that freaking team. So they didn't want to get that. The Cleveland Space Force, that would have been more appropriate, or the Cleveland Steamers, to be honest with you.
The Cleveland Steamers. Yes. That's what I would do.
Would have been the best name. It would have described the town. It would have described the baseball team, and it would have described everybody that lives in Cleveland.
The Cuyahoga River Flamers. I was born in Cleveland, so.
Oh, you were born in Cleveland.
I was born in Cleveland.
Well, you know what? I will say that Cleveland did have a great time. They did have a popular role and a very important role in everybody's life, because it is home of the greatest baseball movie that was ever created, and that's Major League.
Okay? I love that movie. Yes.
Love that movie.
Absolutely. So back to some recent sports. There might be a few good football games this weekend, but I think all eyes are going to be on Philadelphia for the Eagles matchup with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh yes, and the Dallas Cowboys are coming in not on the beaten, heads down and everything, because
they're on fire.
My God, Dak Prescott goes down, and this Cooper Rush, that's his name. Okay, because I wanted to call him the other Cooper Cobb or whatever.
It's Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush, that's the kid's name. Yes, Cooper Rush. All right. Cooper Rush has come in and has managed the Dallas Cowboys perfectly. Like somebody who has seen that playbook and knows the entire playbook. He has come in, and right now they're undefeated. Dak Prescott should be coming back for this. Let's be quite honest. I'm hoping Dak Prescott does not come back because Cooper Rush right now has got the Cowboys running at its optimal level and knows how to get them going.
I hope Jerry Jones stays out of it and lets the coach manage the team. The Eagles right now are undefeated, and the Cowboys have lost only one, but are playing with the backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. Cooper is great, but the Eagles are looking really good this year. For Sunday's game, Philadelphia is a 6.5-point favorite. I personally think that Dak is fine to return, but they'll keep him out because Dallas stands a good chance of losing this game because the Eagles are very hot. You don't want the bad press of Dak's return along with his only other game for another loss with his other game that he played this season, which was a loss. So I think they'll keep him out. And then if there's a loss, they can blame it on Cooper. If it's a win, then Cooper's still hot.
They've painted themselves into a good corner.
Yeah.
Now it's just that it's up to them to have a good answer, no matter which direction it goes to. If you look at it this way, you're going to be running into several, and it's not this familiar for the Dallas Cowboys to have this happen. Because, I think you're a Cowboys fan. It's not a problem out there. Everybody has their mistakes. But the English version of Mark Sanchez, Tony Romo, was not playing too well and was replaced by Dak Prescott due to Tony Romo getting an injury. Dak Prescott then went on a nice little tear. Tony Romo was able to come back. No, Dak Prescott was continuing to win and got them into the playoffs that year.
Yep.
Tony Romo was gone again after that year, and now he's stuck on CBS calling the games of the week. So
he does a really good job, though. I like the way that he calls games. He's phenomenal.
He is good. He
understands the game, all aspects of the game.
Yeah. I just don't like his voice. That's just me. It's a personal preference there.
Okay.
He is smart as hell. He knows he knows what he's talking about. It's just the way that he delivers it.
Well, he's not as bad as Joe Buck, though.
Oh no, he's not. And he's definitely the better quarterback out of the two.
Wasn't Joe Buck he was on the bowling team or the skiing team? What kind of athletic background does Joe Buck have? I've always wondered.
All right. Joe Buck's father was the St. Louis Cardinals' longtime play-by-play man.
Okay.
Like his father, Jack Buck, was Major League Baseball royalty.
Okay.
Period. End of sentence.
I've always wanted to ask that question. I just never knew who to ask.
But Joe, I mean, the best way to say it, he came up when Fox was just starting, so he's been there with Fox, and now when Fox just started their sports, Joe Buck was the big guy with them. And then as Fox Sports grew, so did Joe Buck. And, there's a lot of other things that grew with Joe Buck, like his ego and everything else, his hatred for everybody else except for him.
So Stan Leaf says, but they teamed up, Buck and Romo, didn't they?
No, Buck's been with Troy Aikman the entire
time. That's right.
And that's
another Dallas quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That Romo is the better of the two Dallas Cowboy color commentators, because listening to Troy Aikman, now you know why they're studying CTE. That's the honest to God's truth. Listening to him, and I could hear the CTE, formulating in his head and how many concussions he's actually had.
Aikman has actually been pretty vocal about the calls against roughing the quarterback.
Yeah, he has been, because you can hear it in his voice of how much his head has actually gone through, the post-concussion syndromes, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't want anybody else to ever go through that again.
Right.
But, it still doesn't do anything for me, because the best two that ever do any type of commentating during the game, Peyton and Eli Manning on Monday Night Football. I will watch the Manning cast. They are phenomenal. Love listening to them.
Who did we lose this year? Madden. John Madden.
John Madden. Him and Pat Summerall on the CBS, and then on the Fox. They were great. And then John was Sunday Night Football with him and Al Michaels.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
Now we got a whole new generation of commentators coming in because these guys are getting old. Terry Bradshaw's getting old.
Yeah.
Everyone's just gonna kind of, I just watched a movie the other day, Failure to Launch. It's got Terry Bradshaw in there. He plays the dad, and he's funny.
And his son's Matthew McConaughey. All right. Yeah.
Who is actually on the staff at University of Texas in Austin.
Yeah. And wait a minute. Now that movie also had another athlete on there. Secretariat was on that movie. You know that?
No.
Yeah, Secretariat was there. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yes. The horse.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
She looks. I didn't recognize the reference. So on Monday of this last week, Matt Rule got fired. Who the hell is Matt Rule? He was the head coach for the Carolina Panthers. This year, the Panthers are 1-4. Matt Rule's record as coach with the Panthers was 11 wins and 27 losses. This week, the Panthers Panthers play the Chargers, and the Chargers are a 10-point favorite. Some might say that Rule is the loser. It's like, well, why would you fire a coach less than halfway through the season? But his contract is still intact. He still gets paid a lot. Rule was the coach for Baylor, and he did a fantastic job at Baylor. Let me see. Let me get this graphic up here. So Carolina recruited him and got him on a 7-year contract for $62 million. Carolina will need to pay Rule for the remaining 4 years of his contract, roughly $40 million, if he does nothing. If he goes and takes another coaching job, the amount that they pay him is going to be less. It's going to be offset by whatever he makes. This dude could sit on the couch and eat Doritos for the rest of his for 4 more years and get paid $834,000 a month.
Yeah. Now there's sometimes where you got to take a look and see what you have on the money, but you also got to think as a coach, you're out for the next four years. You're not doing anything as a coach. Your stock goes down, and you're not going to get the opportunity.
Yeah, if you're not coaching, you're not a coach.
Yeah, no.
If you're not current.
Let's be quite honest here. Matt Rule as a NFL head coach is probably never going to happen again.
I think he would make probably a pretty good offensive coordinator, but nothing more than that. Some kind of a coordinator.
I think going back into the college ranks, there are some coaches that
he did great at Baylor, though. He did so good at Baylor.
Exactly. There are coaches that will do phenomenal within the coaching rank, within the college ranks, it will do terrible in the NFL. Or
on the same point, there's a lot of I'm not good with names, but there's a lot of great college players that just went to the NFL and just sucked.
Yes.
Same with coaches.
Yeah, it's the same with coaches. And the coaches, I mean, you're going to see guys like they've done with the one that was in Jacksonville last year. Not Steve Spurrier. He's another good one that happened. But the one who was in Jacksonville, Urban Meyer. He got fired halfway through the year, and he, after all the stuff with Ohio State and Florida and all the crap that happened with him, he should have stayed over in college. I just talked about Steve Spurrier. He went up to the Washington, at that time, Redskins, and then laid an absolute abysmal egg. He was terrible out of there. Nick Saban went back to Alabama after being the coach of Miami, and he did decent over there. But Nick Saban has won multiple championships that are happening. When it comes to the college coaches, it depends on their attitude. It depends on their outlook. And yes, there is a difference between what you're expected to have as a college coach as well as what you're expected to have as a professional coach. Now, yes, they both get paid around the same amount of money, especially if you went to USC in the mid-90s. Thank you, Reggie Bush. But regardless,
Mary Waskey says, I'm going to freak out. Don't freak out. I don't know what you're going to freak out about, but don't.
What are you going to freak out? What
I don't know. Continue. I'm sorry to interrupt.
But Matt Rule is not Matt Rule is not fit for the NFL. He wasn't fit for the NFL 2 years ago when they hired him. I lived in North Carolina. I heard all of the stuff about how great Matt Rule was in college and everything. He always looked like he was in over his head or he was a fish out of water. And it's because of the difference between what you have in the NFL versus what you have in college. Matt Rule can go back to college, and I hope that he can still get paid that $834,000 a month.
A month. It's not like a year. I'll be like, okay, cool. You're going to pay me that a year? Okay. No, a month.
Yeah. But Stan, you are right. Matt Rule needed to go. Period. End of story. Okay. Carolina, first off, if you guys have not ever been to, Charlotte, I'm just going to say that, you'd be surprised. You would think that, most of these stadiums are, kind of a little bit off of the main area. No, the Charlotte stadium is straight in the middle of the Uptown district, which is the downtown district of there. And I call them kind of the hipster NFL football team because that's basically the way that they act.
Because of their location?
Not because of their location, but also kind of the way that they are. They don't really freaking set a trend or anything else like that. They always follow somebody else's trend. And they always end up being the person that is going to end up changing but not have a damn identity. There is a big difference with what has been happening with these Carolina Panthers post Jerry Richardson sold the team 2016. There's been no identity from this team ever since Jerry Richardson sold the team. And there hasn't been anything that, these guys are going to be putting a stamp on with what's happening until there is an environment in which the damn Panthers are able to lay a foundation on. They're going to be stuck in this mediocrity with craptastic quarterbacks and a revolving door of head coaches that are going to be some type of way. The best way to say it, the new whatever the market trends are for head coaches.
Hey, I'm going to go back to his picture real quick and
yes.
Let me know if you agree with me.
Okay.
That looks like Mark Ruffalo. If they ever make a movie about Matt Rule.
Yeah. Yes, it does. Yeah, he does look like Mark Ruffalo. He looks like Mark Ruffalo's stand-in for when he was in the She-Hulk.
His little brother.
CQ, now we're getting a little bit forward to you. That was when Mark Ruffalo had to become Bruce Banner instead of Hulk during She-Hulk. That's what he looks like. Now, oh my God.
This is a comment from Stan. The significant difference between leading personnel who are dependent on you for scholarships and being a true leader.
That is true, but you know what, Stan? I'm going to say that being in that case, there is okay. It is simplified that way, but I can give you a reverse on that one and saying that Mike Krzyzewski was a person who. None of those students were there dependent on Mike Krzyzewski for their scholarship, especially during the one and done eras. But he was an absolute elite leader because he was able to check everybody's ego. He did so with Team USA 3 times with the new dream teams that they had. But with the difference between what some coaches have, it doesn't mean that they're a bad coach. It just means that they're out of their element with the way that they're doing it.
It seems to me, and this is me just as this is just me as not a sports guy. I'm a consumer of sports. I like to watch sports. I couldn't care less about the coach or the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the fucking cheerleaders, the owner, whoever the fuck. I just like to watch a good game. It seems to me, and this is from an outsider's point of view, that as a coach, the only thing that you do is you lay out your mission statement and you manage attitudes and you manage egos. And then you have your sub-managers, which is your offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, your kicking team, all this other stuff. And they're tasked to manage egos and to make something work. Because you are managing a team that is full of prima donnas. They're just pretty boys that are very, very good at what they do, and they have egos. So you have to check that ego and get all of these people to work together. And you either succeed or fail as a coach if you are surrounded by the people that can manage these egos. Is there any truth to that?
There is truth to that, and it's also how much the biggest ego buys into what the head ego will go into it.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. Tom Brady had the biggest ego out of every single person.
He still does.
Yes, he definitely does because he is the best player. But he bought into what Bill Belichick was selling, and Bill Belichick's ego was the one up until the end that was going to go the direction. Even the all-time example, Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan. Don't ever think about Kobe. Kobe was great. He was no Michael. Okay, and that was the combination.
That was a good family. That was a father-son partnership. That was so tight.
Exactly.
And Scottie Pippen and freaking who's the guy that looks like a
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, that guy.
And the first three you also had Ho Grant and B.J. Armstrong on there. Yep. Oh yeah. I remember those teams. Those were the best ones. Especially right before the games, you used to hear Round Ball Rock. Oh, man, I love that shit.
Oh, we're going to get a copyright strike. You did that so well.
Oh, come on. Round Ball Rock. You know who did that?
I have no idea. Really?
John Tesh, yeah, the guy who used to host
Entertainment Tonight.
He was the guy who wrote the theme to the NBA on NBC.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I'm full of useless fucking knowledge.
Hey, we're going to move on from sports. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Let's go Yankees. No,
how are they doing? I mean, are the prospects good for a good turnout for them, or
as far as this Cleveland series? I think
it's going to be tough.
I think they can get through this. They really blew their chance this evening to have a good 2-0 series lead going.
I love to see the Yankees lose. It's just happy for me to see the Yankees. It's just like the Patriots. I like it when the Patriots lose.
I understand that, but I'm born and bred a Yankee fan.
Like, I understand.
This is like I literally have the only tattoo that I have is a big, massive interlocking NY on my left calf. Let me just say this: yes,
the Bulls, the Bears.
when you grow up with a team that is expected to win World Series, not just based off of heritage, but because of what they actually did, and I'm going to say the best manager of the egos was actually Joe Torre, because he took 25 different egos and made that team into a phenomenal unit together from 96 to 2000 and so. But while I'm bringing up the Yankees, I'm saying this, that we as Yankee fans expect them to win the World Series first. Individual accomplishments second.
What makes a Yankees fan different than a Red Sox fan? Because I know same
86 years of less torment. That's the honest to God's truth.
Okay.
That is the honest to God's truth. As compared to it right now, there is no difference between Yankee fan and Red Sox fan. Red Sox fan has been happy since 2004 because they have won 4 World Series championships in that time period, if I am remembering correct. I want to say 4, not 5. Yes, 4 World Series. And in that time period, the Yankees have only had 1. Now, prior to that, there was 86 years of absolute frustration from Red Sox fans. So the relief of getting over it is, I would say is now a generation past. You are 20 years past when you had the 86-year break, or 18 years out of it. You're at the point right now where you're expecting to win championships every year in the same way the Yankees do. And in the same way that Boston Red Sox fans now expect team accomplishments more than individual achievements. Like, it was great when Yaz and Teddy Ballgame had their MVP seasons, but the Red Sox weren't winning the World Series. Now the Red Sox fan and the Yankees fan expect World Series wins before other people get MVPs.
It's not good enough for playoffs. It's like, you got to be in the series.
Exactly, and that's why
that's a tall order.
Yeah, it's a very tall order. But that's at championship level, and it's unfair. But you always have that one exception in every sport. Let's go with that. It's unfair to be the head coach of the New York Yankees. It's unfair to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. It's unfair to be the head coach of, now it would be the Patriots, but the Dallas Cowboys, it's always been a hard one too. And to be honest with you, it's also been for Pittsburgh. Thank goodness they've got stability over there. It's always been hard to be the New York Rangers coach. It's always been hard to be these teams that you have greatness going through. The Montreal Canadiens coach, it's been hard for them to pull it.
If you go overseas and you talk baseball, and they're going to be like New York Yankees, LA Dodgers, Yankees, something like that,
and Boston Red Sox,
yeah.
Maybe if they know a lot about it, you'll hear a lot about the Cardinals, and possibly, depending on how far you go into Japan, you'll also hear about the Angels because there's Shohei Ohtani.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you're going to have those four teams. Nobody's going to know about the Milwaukee Brewers or the Cleveland Indians. I mean, Guardians. Even I'm doing that. Nobody cares about those teams.
Not really.
Care about the big ones. I mean, who here knows about AC Richmond versus who knows about Manchester United?
What?
Okay. One of those teams, Richmond, that I just said was a fictional football team from the show Ted Lasso. Manchester United is
that's a legit football team in the UK.
Manchester United is a legit one. AC Richmond or Athletic Club Richmond is not. Roy Kent, he's there. He's every fucking where. That guy, you're really not going to have. Nobody in America knows about what the hell those two teams are. But, you may have heard of Manchester United. You probably never heard of Liverpool. You've probably never heard of Wrexham, aside from, Ryan Reynolds' thing. The marquee teams are going to have that inherent difficulty that comes with them and that inherent expectation of championship level or bust. And That's the way that it is. That's why Aaron Boone sits down when he pees.
Jorge Cruz says Atlanta is my pick.
Atlanta and Houston again in the World Series, I could see that, but that also means that I am condoning the Yankees to losing again.
Right.
So
let's wait for a couple of weeks before you actually make a decision.
No, I already made the decision. The Yankees are going to win. I'm going to be disappointed either way if it doesn't happen. That's the way that I am. The Yankees have to win.
That's completely acceptable.
Yes. So, and I will boo. What's his name? Aaron Judge. I will boo Aaron Judge. Yes, I will. 62 home runs. Great. You are 0 for 8 right now in the playoffs with 7 strikeouts. That's not performing.
No. Coach ought to say, okay, bunt. Get on base. Just get on base.
He was great for it, but then he was going after the home runs, and now he's got himself into the rhythm where that's all he's looking for is the home runs because he doesn't feel comfortable anything else in the swing.
Right.
It's the way these things go.
Okay, we're done with sports. Now let's go on to the crazy cat lady.
Yes.
Now, I talk about this crazy cat lady just because it's not like she has a whole lot of cats. I mean, look at her. She's pretty. She's young. But a California woman has been charged with the killing of a man by ramming her car into him after accusing him of trying to run over a cat in the street. Hannah Starr Esser, age 20, was charged with the murder and the death of Victor Anthony Lewis. She was driving in the community of Cypress on Sunday, and she confronted Lewis and then accused him of trying to run over a cat. They both got out of their vehicles and started to get into an argument. She returned to her car, started it back up, and then fucking ran his ass over. He was pronounced dead at the scene. She had an initial court appearance on Tuesday, and she is scheduled to be arraigned on the 13th, which was yesterday. I haven't heard anything about it. Spokesman for the district attorney's office was not immediately clear whether or not a cat had actually been involved. So even the pretty ones are crazy sometimes. She does kind of look crazy. I don't know what she looks like. She's very pretty. She has nice. I mean, I'm looking at this. Her face is pretty. Her eyebrows are nice. She just looks defeated. And I think that just deep down inside of her, something freaking snapped. I don't know if she's on drugs or anything. There was no mention in any of the stories that I read while researching this if she was under the influence of anything. But she ran over this dude because she said he swerved to hit a cat. I would really like to see video of everything.
She looks like she was working remotely on Microsoft Teams.
Mm-hmm. And someone used that fucking emoji.
And somebody gave her the thumbs up. And then she saw this guy in the middle.
Well, the thing is, she got the thumbs up. Then she got the dick fruit thing. The not Parmesan. What the hell is that? What was that again? I'm killing Coach, dude. I'm sorry. He's dying.
The damn eggplant, I'm dying here.
Eggplant. That's it. Eggplant Parmesan is what I did. I got the Parmesan stuck in my head. Dick fruit, just because that's what that emoji means. So she probably got the thumbs up, the pomegranate, and then the heart emoji. It was a red heart, not like a purple heart or anything. And then she just lost her shit.
Oh, but she does look like one of those Marine wives that would get married just for the BAH.
There it is. Heath Barlow's got it.
It made me think of that now.
So she has really, really beautiful green eyes. I mean, really dark hair, green eyes. She's beautiful. But I mean, she's nuts.
Yeah. So you don't stick your Richard in crazy,
right?
Crazy. I don't know. She doesn't look like she's crazy, though. She honestly looks like she's
evil. She doesn't have an evil look to her.
I would say besmirched that she, like she's the kind of crazy.
She looks disappointed that she was arrested for murder.
Exactly, like it was our problem that guy.
It's my fault. It's fucking my fault that she got arrested for murder.
Exactly.
But she's the one that ran the dude over and killed him. Holy shit.
I mean, I have a feeling right now that there's probably a whole bunch of lonely men that are somehow already pen paling her.
I was going to say, dude, she's going to be getting letters.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably getting men's underwear right now. I mean, that's how popular she is.
Yikes.
And yeah, she's definitely going to be, she's going to be popular out of there. You're going to have a whole bunch of men that are going to be sending you rather
creepy dudes, like 50, 60-year-olds going, "Hey, baby, I'll take care of you when you get out."
Exactly. Yeah. The kind of people who wear tin hats, out of their trailer.
Maybe
those kind of people.
Maybe her and Alex Jones can hook up, or something. I don't know. That's kind of gross.
Yeah,
20. She's 20, dude. My daughters are older than she is, so.
Yeah, she does look like she subscribes to Infowars.com. That would be your average Infowars. No, actually, I take that back. She looks more like a Young Turks viewer. That's exactly.
Okay, Sank has been hot and cold.
Yeah. But I mean, she just looks like the typical person who would take everything the Young Turks say for serious and definitely want to kill somebody on the Alex Jones side. Yeah, exactly.
So do you spend a lot of time on Facebook or on social media at all? The ones that where you get targeted ads.
Okay. Yes, I have. Yes, and unlike a lot of other people, or at least the vast amount of people that are on Facebook, I was not stationed at Camp Lejeune from 1956 through
Dude,
1983.
I've been to Camp Lejeune, but I don't remember ever eating. No, I never ate at a dining facility there. I did. They have like a little food truck outside. I went and I was installing flight simulators there for my current job.
Okay.
But Camp Lejeune is nice. I like. Yeah, Camp Lejeune.
I've traveled through there. You know, I've been there. I think I've actually gone to the bathroom there, so I can say that I have washed my hands and flushed my urine with the water from Camp Lejeune. Am I entitled to any?
You may be entitled to significant compensation.
Oh, significant compensation. But yeah, I have noticed some targeted ads.
So I've been getting ads lately, and I just thought that I don't know if anybody else has. I think everyone else has, but we all get Facebook ads, right? Lately, within the last week or 10 days, I've been getting very specific ads promoting the purchase of potassium iodide. Potassium iodide is used to offer specific protection against radiation exposure. It prevents the thyroid from absorbing radioactive iodine, which is released into the atmosphere during a nuclear accident. Basically, iodine tablets work by filling up the thyroid with a stable version of the iodine so that the radioactive kind doesn't get in. In the case of a detonation of a nuclear warhead, you have many, many, many other things to worry about, and potassium iodide is not going to help you. But it's funny how these ads have been popping up on my timeline since the elderly Vladimir Putin started talking more shit about the Ukraine, saying, quote, victory by any means necessary. Has anybody else out there been seeing like really weird targeted ads? It's just, I just thought it was completely weird because right after he said those words, I started seeing ads for potassium iodide.
I started seeing them on other outlets, not my social media. My social media, I get, the aforementioned Camp Lejeune ones, and I also get a certain veterans groups and veterans clothing lines. But on my other medias, I have, like, if when I go to Drudge or InfoWars or Young Turks, I've been getting some ads regarding that same exact thing as well. So yes, I have been seeing that ever since it was mentioned. But
now you will, since we're talking about it and your phones are listening.
And now I will, because now Skype. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I just got a Facebook. Oh wow, Pookie. Yeah, okay. So just as I'm mentioning this, I get a message from Pookie, and Pookie just told me he just saw the ad too. So now that we're doing this, we know that Skype is collecting this, Facebook is zucking us, and now Pookie's getting the same thing, and hopefully Pookie is actually getting onto his flight. Hey, by the way, Pookie, never have the words Spirit Airlines is better have been uttered, and it should be uttered by you tonight.
I've flown Spirit Airlines one time, and I was extremely happy with it. I flew from here to Detroit, and I did my thing, and I came back, and the flight was not delayed. It was, I paid extra for a bigger seat. I brought my own food. I had a carry-on. It wasn't like I had to check baggage or nothing. So it was relatively painless, and the seats were kind of uncomfortable, but I got to where I wanted to go.
You got to Detroit and you got out. That's obviously a trip that
I used to work in Detroit.
So let's be honest.
I really like Detroit. I do like Detroit. But the thing is, it's like you do your job and you leave work. Everyone left work before dark because that's when shit starts happening. So. he's dying again.
My gosh, yeah, I know. But you know what? I feel better that I'm quitting smoking. I really do feel I got like a lot more energy and pep and zep and stuff.
That's good, and it's only going to get better. It really is only going to get better.
Personally, I would actually want to go to. It's not Joe Louis Arena up in Detroit. I don't know what they called it now. I guess it's the Little Caesars Arena, but where the Detroit Red Wings play hockey.
Okay,
I would stay up there just to do that. I might go to Comerica Park because that's kind of a nice park. I sure as hell ain't going to go over to Ford Field and watch the Detroit Lions play. I'm better off watching the high school or shit. I got Fayetteville State University just down the block from me. I can go watch them and it would be much better. But Detroit, it's got a couple things. Doesn't have much.
It doesn't have much, but it's cool. I work with some really cool folks up there. So let's talk about hospitals. And I guess things have changed in hospitals where now that's not just it's just not, when you go down to the cafeteria, it's not just hospital food. Everyone like bags on hospital food. When both of my kids were born, there was the cafeteria in the hospital, and it was definitely it was like the cafeteria that you would find in a high school, or that type of quality food. There's a hospital here in Fort Worth. So imagine if you went to a hospital, but instead of eating at a hospital cafeteria, that they had a food court. I think that would be pretty cool. What types of eating establishments do you imagine would be in a food court in a hospital? I have a list. I made a little bit of a list. I think that there would be maybe sandwich shops like Subway, Firehouse, Jersey Mike's. I think that there might be a Panera, maybe a smoothie shop, an ice cream shop. Salads to go, which is kind of big down here. I don't know if it's big anywhere else, but it's like a drive-through, like a salad place. You can get like any salad that you want. Or Chipotle is really big here. That would be cool. I would be happy to see that. So there's tons of hospitals. Do you have like do you have a list? Like if you went down to a cafeteria, a food court in a hospital, what would be your go-to? What would you want to see as far as choices for food?
I would say Panera Bread might actually be the best choice out of all of them. Second, because they're almost everywhere else, is Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A might be the limit, and I take that back. But even though I've seen their food and I really don't like it, I would say Subway may be the lowest form of acceptable fast food that would be out there for me. But I would say just two of them: Panera Bread and whatever the place I just said. What the hell did I just chicken fucking place? Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. That's the Lord's chicken.
Yeah,
don't take the Lord's chicken name in vain.
Okay, and then we would have a problem with what to go with on Sunday.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that might not be good either.
So there's tons of hospitals in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. One of them is called John Peter Smith Hospital. McDonald's has been offered a store space in the John Peter Smith Hospital food court here in Fort Worth, and doctors are losing their shit. If you pay attention to the press releases, you might be led to believe that all of the doctors in the hospital are opposed to chicken nuggies being offered with their hospital's food court. That's not the truth. Only a small handful of doctors are opposed to it, but there are protests, and here on the screen here, and I counted them. I think those are 10 protesters. I'm not talking about the pedestrians walking. There's like 10 people holding signs.
And yep, I got 10 as well.
That's about 10, right?
Yeah, I got 10.
So this is not the truth.
I'm not sure if this guy over here in the black hoodie is
the black. I think he's just walking through.
I think he's walking by and saying, "I'm tired of this." And I know that woman isn't holding up a sign right there. That old guy's just like, "Oh, what the hell are you guys doing?"
So now there's
he's giving this millennial a thumbs up.
So there's protests because you know what? That's just the way we do things here. And I've got this written down, and we talked about this earlier. I don't like it, so you can't have it. That's basically what the protesters are saying.
Yep.
So there's been an ongoing protest outside the hospital. The most I can see in this is 10, and I think we agree. The organizer of the protests is from an organization called the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, which, of course, is an activist group based in Washington, D.C. This group promotes a plant-based diet, preventive medicine, and alternatives to animal research, and encourages what it describes as higher standards of ethical and effectiveness in research. The main reason why they're against McDonald's at John Peter Smith is because of the food. In the press release, the committee says it's because of the high-fat, meat-heavy food puts visitors, patients, and staffs at risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other diet-related health problems. I love a good salad, but sometimes I want a goddamn burger and some chicken nuggies. Give folks a choice. Take your Beyond Meat and stick it.
Oh, my dear Lord Jesus. Would they be complaining if it was a Whataburger going in there? I mean, I'm just saying this is a Texas place.
Probably.
Why wouldn't you go with the Whataburger? That's all I'm going to say. Get a Whataburger in there, okay? Be true to yourself. Get a Whataburger in there.
Get a Whataburger, anything. I mean, it doesn't matter, dude.
Okay. So they're going to They're going to be upset. They're going to be, and let's be quite honest here. I've been around enough hospitals to know that there is a greasy spoon joint within walking distance for every single one of the doctors.
Absolutely.
There is some type of real fast grill where they can go grab something, and it's a greasy spoon type of place. And I'm talking about local places, some off the wall places, that have hospitals. Every single one of them has it. It's kind of like having the hotel bar, around an airport. All right. You're going to have some people that are going to be drinking. It's the way that things go. You're going to have it. If for you to worry about the fact that somebody's going to be eating something instead of the same food that is going to be served by cooks, they're going to serve the burgers, just not McDonald's burgers. They're going to serve fries, just not McDonald's fries. And I guarantee you there will be a line around 11:30 with a whole bunch of people that are going to be eating that same exact type of food just from the cafeteria, not with a Happy Meal.
So this is just a group of people that are pro, plant-based whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
And they all drive freaking Priuses and whatnot, Teslas and stuff that doesn't consume the earth. I don't know. I don't know how to explain these fuckers.
I ain't gonna lie though, but I will say that if I ever got offered a Tesla,
hospital should have a bar. Heath, I love you. Yes. Dude, grandma's dying. Let's go do shots. Fuck yes.
What if this was a McDonald's, or not a McDonald's? Excuse me, a Burger King. Because they're the number 2 choice of everybody. Those are the second choices that are made. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest. They've got that Impossible Whopper. That's the only damn thing that they have on that menu that is anything freaking plant-based. Okay, even the freaking French fries aren't plant-based.
They're plants, dude. They're potatoes.
Are you sure? Have you ever had them?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. But when you look at it, everybody thinks that Burger King is now this progressive thing because they make one burger that nobody wants to eat out of frickin' beans. And I guarantee you, these guys wouldn't have been protesting if it was Burger King saying this stuff. No, everybody's ideology is just so that they can get their own point across and protest something so that they can have their day and get their point across for them. Well, the point I have from these tofu-eating fart smellers is that I'd rather just go eat at the Buc-ee's that's over on the next exit from that hospital. And I'm going to have some brisket with barbecue sauce.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, put every restaurant out there and make choices. It's not like, from what their statement is, it kind of sounded like grandma's in the hospital. She needs to have her gallbladder removed. So the family's going to get cancer because they eat at the McDonald's the 2 or 3 days while grandma's there going through surgery and then recovery, and then she gets discharged.
And it's
That's ridiculous.
Not like,
that's ridiculous.
But you know what? All of these things that they're worried that it's promoting, I mean, for crying out loud, if something ever does happen, they're in the safest freaking location. If I'm getting a heart attack because I'm eating a Big Mac, well, I'll be happy that I'm having a heart attack in a hospital.
Well, what a great place to have a heart attack at.
Best place to have it. I know that I'll be all right.
So here we're talking about these protesters protesting these things. What about the people that just sue people for stupid fucking reasons? And this is our last story of the evening. Since we're on the topic of food, there's a dude. His name is Philip White. He is suing Texas Pete Hot Sauce because, get this, they're not from Texas. Apparently, this had hurt him in some way. And I've always known personally that Pace Picante sauce was never a Texas thing. I've always known that Texas Pete was never a Texas thing. It was simply a hot sauce that was thrust upon me by the United States Army, and that made my food taste just a little bit better. Philip White is from California. He launched this lawsuit after discovering that the popular sauce does not have a distinct connection to the state of Texas. Because of the product's name and the use of Texas imagery, The plaintiff claims that the defendant knowingly and intentionally capitalizes on consumers' desire to partake in the culture and authentic cuisine of one of the most prideful states in America. Come the fuck on, dude. Really? Why? I mean, they might have a case, but really? I mean, a judge is going to look at this and hopefully just say no. Dude, just get back in your mom's basement. Play video games and do whatever. Sell Etsy stuff.
This is the type of man who wipes from back to front.
Yes, Texas Pete is a North Carolina brand, Jorge.
This guy who's doing this suit wipes from back to front. Okay. Now, there is a legal precedence though that this guy is going to fail on. And I actually do know this because there is a lawsuit from back in the 90s, a frivolous lawsuit regarding Texas wieners. You ever hear of a Texas wiener?
No, I haven't.
It's a deep fried hot dog, and it's a delicacy of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Several places called Rutt's Hut, the Hot Grill at Clifton, Johnny and Hange's. Well, they specialize in the Texas wiener, which is a deep fried hot dog.
Is it breaded or is it just deep fried?
Just deep fried.
Okay, that's cool.
All beef hot dog, deep fried, and you serve that. You know, there's different ways to serve it. You can get it with the sauce, you can get it with the chili, you can get it just the way it is. It's a ripper. It's freaking phenomenal.
Heath Barlow says this dude pours his milk before his cereal.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So this guy, there was a frivolous lawsuit from somebody out of New York.
Was it deemed a frivolous lawsuit?
It was deemed a frivolous lawsuit because somebody was suing these locations saying that they were from Texas wieners when in fact they were from New Jersey. This was those weird news things that you would see at 6 o'clock back in the 80s and the 90s. But it was taken to court and it was ultimately thrown out because Texas is not a location. Texas is the acronym, or not the acronym, the adjective. Just a describer, like Texas Pete. Texas is the adjective.
Oh gosh, okay.
For this guy is. So if I say I'm Texas Jim, technically I'm just saying I'm Jim. I'm adding Texas as an adjective, not as a location or a noun.
Hopefully Texas Pete has a good lawyer team, and I'm sure they do.
I'm pretty sure they got a better lawyer than this fucking guy who actually decided to take this case. I mean, this. Jesus Christmas. I didn't know. Actually, you know what? I didn't know that Texas Pete was from North Carolina.
It is
until now. Until hearing about this thing.
It says it on the label. You know.
I don't know.
Like Greensboro, North Carolina, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't read them, but it does make sense because Texas Pete, the first time I ever was introduced to it was eating
in a DFAC.
North Carolina. Yeah, it was eating DFAC and Bragg, and it was eating North Carolina barbecue at a restaurant, and I had known what barbecue was as far as what I experienced in, Kansas City and what I experienced in Texas, but I didn't know what North Carolina was, and that was the first time I ever saw Texas Pete.
Rob Kinney says we have Texas Pete up here in Alaska.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, everybody's got Texas Pete now. It's but I mean, is this the same person who will the frivolous lawsuits?
I tried to find a picture. I tried to find a picture of him, but there isn't one. There's a lot of pictures when you Google this story. You like who this person is, and it's always a bunch of different people. So I didn't post the picture.
I'll save everybody the trouble. If you've ever seen the episode where everybody's playing World of Warcraft on South Park.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's the funniest. That's awesome.
And you got that one guy who's got the rash guard on. That's what that guy looks like. That's exactly what that dude looks like. Okay. Freaking Christ Almighty, starting up a stupid ass lawsuit for that stuff.
Hey, I think we're gonna head out, man.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, okay. It's about time. It's actually after time. We're gonna win.
Okay.
You get like 10 minutes of overtime pay for this.
Stan, I will not start a fight regarding Carolina barbecue. I think it's trash too because I think Kansas City barbecue is phenomenal.
Kansas seems too sweet for me. I like the mesquite flavor of Texas barbecue.
Okay. Low and slow, and I can respect that. Yes.
I don't like Carolina barbecue just because it's too tangy. It's got too much vinegar, and that's just a personal opinion.
Yeah,
but none of it sucks. I will eat all barbecue.
Exactly, phenomenal.
And with that, I think we're gonna sign off, man. I hope you have a great night. I hope everyone has a great night. We got shows a bunch of nights a week. Monday is the Monday edition. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. Thursday is Sergeant's Time. Friday is Friday Night Freedom. And you can come back and catch, hopefully next, if Pookie ever gets released from the damn airport and he comes back, he'll be with us next Friday. You got any good parting words for anybody?
Be kind to one another.
That is fucking awesome. I love that.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Take care of yourself. Take care of your spouse. Take care of your children. Just don't do anything fucking stupid this weekend. I love you. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Peace out, shots.
Bye.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
My friend came to the door. She said, well, I was on the phone cooking me and my baby some breakfast. And she said, hey, something wrong. It's popping. I said, what? She said, yeah. I said, no. So the girl come downstairs. She come out her apartment with her baby with no shoes on. I said, oh, girl, it's cold outside. She said, something ain't right. I said, oh, man. She said, oh, man, the building is on fire. I said, no, what? I got my 3 kids and we bounced out. We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.